That's the chorus. Welcome back to Music Teacher Reacts, home to the loudest bass bar in the business, and of course my reaction analyses to a bunch of music. Continuing on with NF. That was unintentional. That was not a pun, if you picked up on that breath. Off the back of How Could You Leave Us? If you haven't checked out my reaction analysis to that, check it out now and then watch this. I'm doing everything in order. I'm still on therapy session. It was interesting, and I did expect to get a little bit of backlash, which is not an issue for me because I always give my honest opinion, and I'm going to take maybe 30 seconds to discuss this, and then we're going straight into the listening of this. Emotion for me as a musician or music teacher comes purely from music. So I'm talking about the various use of pitch, duration, tone color, dynamics, expressive techniques, texture, so layers of sound, and the way that it's all formed together as structure. Lyrics have no impact. So for me, there was a emotional disconnect with How Could You Leave Us? Mainly because musically it was so basic, which is fine. Because again, he's going for the lyrics, and lyrics here are power in terms of what he's really trying to bring across. And most of his listeners are very, very focused on lyrics, and that's the go with rap. It is about lyrics. If you take a look at my album review on Mansion, you'll see what my top 2 favorite songs were. And none of them were songs which were recommended to me to do essential as the NF journey. So if you've seen that Mansion review, great. If you haven't, check it out now because I'm about to spoil it for you anyway. So Can You Hold Me was my favorite song from that album. And I understand that that's not essential to the NF journey and his story from a personal level. For me, the lyrics, they could be interpreted to be about love, but it wasn't about the lyrics for me. It was really musically the beautiful melody and the use of the instrumentation and the use of the tempo or seemingly the tempo changes. And my second favorite was Paralyzed. Same thing. I mean, I love the ballads, but again, this beautiful melody that he sang, We're Up to Breathe. Pressing play now. I'm stopping it because I need to turn up the volume on my end, but this is an introduction I'm actually already loving, to be honest.
Grew up in a small place, had to drive an hour just to see a movie. I'm a simple person, city life just doesn't move me. I'd rather be home with my grandparents and playing euchre. Didn't want to leave, but this dream's calling, I had to do it. I left my girl there, wish I would have done it different. And she was right when she told me that I don't never listen. I told her I would change 1,000,000 times and never did it. Apologies don't mean a thing if you don't never.
Okay, already listening to this, I'm hearing quite a lot going on musically. Again, I don't know what this is about. There's this really interesting theme in the introduction with a seemingly female vocalist doing a vocal slide up. The use of the electronic drums here are incredibly, to me anyway, unpredictable. I can't count them yet. I haven't picked up on the pattern, and that makes things really ominous. There's no, maybe I missed it, because I was listening to the lyrics too. There's seemingly no harmonic backing, meaning we don't have a keyboard or piano, no kind of electric guitar. However, there is that use of vocals for some kind of harmony. When I say harmony, I mean like chords, like pitches which are not part of a melody. We've got a lack of that here. So everything's really thin. Everything's really ominous. I'm liking that, and I've stopped it purposely here because I feel like we're either going to a second part of the verse or moving into a chorus. We're not moving into a chorus, it's too early. And there's going to be some kind of textural build. Maybe I'm predicting this wrong, but that means another instrument's going to come in or something is going to create interest.
changed a million times and never did it. Apologies don't mean a thing if you don't ever fix it. I love what I do, but it's not what I expected. This industry is not your friend. Well, that's my perspective. Sometimes the closest people to you make you feel protected, but those are the same people that hurt you most and leave you guessing. Some people say nobody's perfect, but expect perfection. How you supposed to find the answer if you don't ask the question? Sometimes I look into the mirror and talk to my reflection. When I go home and turn the music off, what am I left with?
That's the chorus. That's a really, in my eyes, that's a really interesting chorus, both musically and lyrically. And I really like it. I'm saying that because it's moved away from verbalizing feelings and telling stories with your words and moved into one word, which I think is breathe, in that female vocal, which is this long sustained note, and it slides up really, really slowly in pitch. And then, of course, there's the harmony or seemingly part of the melody or a counter melody going on, which I assume is NF himself as well. And to me, that really conveys the essence of breathing and taking a step back rather than vocalizing what you think, just really taking a step back and breathing. I just want to see what the lyrics are to this. So again, therapy session. And this is what I love. I love linking here that, again, another a technique Sykes might say to use, breathe. Okay, so to me, this looks like, I could be wrong, but to me, I'm interpreting this as him handling the pressures of what he's going into as a rapper and the industry.
We used to be close, but as time passed, we became disconnected. You never felt loved, and I always felt disrespected. Your family thought I was a joke, I was always defensive. They just wanted what was best for you, I just couldn't accept it. And hurting you was not a part of my plan or my intentions. But I was immature, I guess I had to learn some lessons. We grew apart and our lives went in different directions. And there's a lot of responsibilities that I neglect.
I just love how there's no instrumentation except the drums and a synthesizer, and then his vocals echoing behind him as a call, as not fully a breath, but it really makes a huge, this little tiny thing that makes a huge difference in composition. And if you haven't noticed it yet, take a listen that it's not just him rapping, there's his vocals behind it too. Who's you? Talking in second person.
Lives went in different directions, and there's a lot of responsibilities that I neglected. I had a lot that was bottled inside, couldn't express it. And this pain won't leave, I can feel the depression. It's taking over my body, feels like I'm always stressing. Doctor told me I should sleep, but I'm always restless. I lay awake at night and think, my thoughts are relentless. I need a moment to breathe, I need a moment to vent this. I seem to be the only person that I play pretend with. And when I turn the music off, what am I really left with, huh?
That was a tease. That was a tease musically. And I'm 3/4 of the way through, and what I'm hoping for here musically, and I'm always thinking this from a musical perspective, that something builds, because he teased it right there. There was a slow build in adding some kind of percussive electronic layer, which built, and then brought it back down to that chorus, which was really, really effective. So effective that I need to see it happen again, but really climax to something else.
I turn the music off, what am I really left with, huh?
Okay, fine. I'd be really interested to know what the fandom think of this song. Lyrically, I imagine it's powerful, but musically, there are just so many little things that are happening which tease a build up and then bring it back. And if I'm linking this to the lyrical content of Breathe, of taking your time and breathing in and breathing out, a lot of that teasing is to do with a swell of dynamics. So getting louder gradually and then getting softer again gradually. And that's what I was feeling. And it was effective, especially towards the end when there was another lyric added in his backing vocals. It's like, I don't want to know, or I want to know. To me, I don't know what this is about lyrically. I'm going to look a little bit more, but I'd love to know what you feel or what you know it's about. I'm not sure if this is one of his biggest songs. However, to me, musically, it actually is super interesting. And if I go back and listen to it again, picking up little intricacies of adding and subtracting small layers of sound, building a tiny crescendo, so getting louder, and a diminuendo, so getting softer. These tiny things that are incorporated to get that sense of breath, not just shown in the lyrics, in the ascending and descending pitch, but in everything. And this is what I love. And this is what I love looking about musically with NF's music. But I feel like this song, more than How Could You Leave Us, the power is also in the way that the concepts are used in music here. So like I said before, let me know your thoughts, of course, and always join the conversation. Hit me up on Insta if you need to ask anything. Until next time.